Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, that is Clinical Pharmacy Practice by Dr. Ashish Aksharbedi. And today we are going to learn about plant poisoning. Okay, and if I'm talking about plant poisoning, I'm referring majorly towards mushroom and what are the different kinds of mushrooms which are poisonous. We are going to learn signs symptoms of its toxicity and poisoning. Okay, first one we'll start with the introduction. Okay, we have different kinds of mushrooms which are edible and some are non-edibles. Only the 5% are poisonous, and which will be studying here only. And what are different categories, toxins, and mechanism of action? We will learn about that. Now, the term mushroom actually refers to the reproductive portion. It is a reproductive portion of a fungus which grows up from an underground mycelium, thicker underground mycelium, that is mass of filament or hyphae constituting the vegetative portion of the fungus. Okay, as I told you minutes back, the 5% are only poisonous and rest are edible, which are very popular in a Western Chinese cuisine. Now, all mushrooms are not poisonous. Okay. The main and the commonest one are the Amanita phalloides. This one is the Amanita phalloide, which is also known as death cap. Second one is Amanita muscaria, that is also known as fly agaric or deadly agaric. This one is Amanita virosa. Now, what is the mechanism of action? There are several mycotoxins present in the poisonous mushroom. What are the commonest one are amatoxins, which have the delayed effect, phallotoxins, which have the rapid effect, and the virotoxins, which are the most important toxins. Okay. Actions: activation of the cholinergic system, hypersensitivity reaction. They can cause inhibition of cellular protein synthesis, inhibits actin polymerization, impairs cell membrane function. Okay. Now, among other toxins, amatoxins are the powerful inhibitors of cellular protein synthesis. In fact, the cells which have the high replication rates, for example, like liver, kidney, intestinal cells, they can develop necrosis also. So it is very severe poisoning. Liver usually shows central lobar necrosis, means it can directly cause a hepatic failure also. What are the sign symptoms? There is usually an incubation period of 6 to 12 hours that the patient recovers, but however it varies, it depends upon how much the poisonous mushroom has been taken. Okay, the three stages may be recognized as: first one is the gastroenteritis stage, second one is the latent stage, and third one is the hepatorenal stage. Okay, we will study point by point. The first one we will be studying gastroenteritis stage. Okay, what includes in a gastroenteritis stage? It occurs for almost about 6 to 24 hours. Nausea is a symptom under the gastroenteritis stage. It includes vomiting. It includes abdominal pain. It includes diarrhea. It includes fever. So these are the gastroenteritis stage. Now the second stage is latent stage. It occurs for 1836 hours. It could be a very confusing state also, because lasting for a variable period of time in which the symptoms of the patient subsides and patient appears that he or she may have been recovered, but it is a confusing state. However, a patient may return in 2 to 3 days in a moribund condition. Moribund condition means deadly condition. Patient can return in a 2 to 3 days. It appears, it seems, but the patient has not recovered. Okay, the third one is hepatorenal stage. It lasts for 2 to 4 days, and symptoms are jaundice, confusion, delirium, metabolic acidosis, and coagulopathy, renal failure or acute kidney injury, and coma, seizures. Okay, what are the diagnostic parameters? How we will diagnose the mushroom poisoning? Amatoxin in the stools or the gastric samples or in the mushroom specimen itself may be detected by Mixner test, which is a very common test. Mixner test for the poison mushroom. This can be done in a stool sample. in which stool sample should be in a methanol, and we will centrifuge it, and after that we will filter it and place 1 or 2 drops of filter paper, and then few drops of this on the filter paper, and we can get a bluish discoloration. What are the management it includes? For management, we will be starting first with the emergency and supportive measures. Maintain an open airway, assist ventilation if necessary. Then we have to administer supplemental oxygen. We have to treat fluid and electrolytes losses aggressively with a massive fluid by IV route. And we have to provide vigorous supportive care for hepatic failure. Specific antidotes, we don't have a specific antidotes, but for muscarine intoxication, we will give atropine, that is 1 to 2 mg IV for adults and 0.02 mg IV for children. For seizures, we can give IV benzodiazepine, lorazepam or diazepam, and give pyridoxine 25 mg IV to for with that, and treat methoglobinemia with methylene blue. Okay, now allergic pneumonitis may get benefit from corticosteroids administrations. For amatoxin type poisoning, penicillin, silibinine, thiostic acid, and corticosteroids can be tried for their synergistic effect, but still they don't have very much high efficacy rate within the literature, so their efficacy is still questionable. Third one will be the decontamination process, in which we will consider repeated activated charcoal administration. We will give a repeated dosing of activated charcoal. And talking about enhanced elimination, actually the problem is that it doesn't there is a no scope, we can say, for enhanced elimination, because no hemodialysis can cure this toxicity, and further other type of processes which helps in the enhanced elimination cannot proven haven't proven their efficacy still. Okay, with this I say that learn efficiently, learn smartly. Thank you for being there with me in this whole presentation. Okay, bye bye.